What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Greetings! In today's video I want to go over how to effectively make between 1.1 bill to 1.3 bill silver an hour Elvia Nagas as a suck sage. I recently covered Elvia Orc's money realm, so if you want to check that out, the video can be found in the top right corner, a link to that in the description of the video. We're going over buffs, add-ons, explaining how the AP caps work and how to get the most damage possible whilst grinding Elvia Nagas. If you already watched the Elvia Orcs video, however, then you already know most of what I'm about to cover. Alright, let's get into it. The monster AP cap for this grind is 803. All of the grind spot AP caps can be found at Gauntlet.com. I'll put a link to that in the description below. My PvE add-ons are as shown. This allows for permanent uptime monster AP, crit chance, crit damage, cast speed with a sprinkle of back attack damage. The AP from your add-ons will help you reach that 803 AP cap. Take this into consideration when calculating your total AP. It's important to note that all Elvia spots are considered a 5% AP value over cap. This simply means any AP above the grind spot cap will only have 5% value per AP point. We, however, will be trying to get more AP than the caps, so we have AP to sacrifice for more external damage types. I'll explain this later. Find out your current AP, you'll want to open up your character sheet and then go below and click My Stats. This will show a detailed breakdown of all your current stats. If you play Succession, you want to add your AP and your extra AP against monsters together to give you your total AP. This is the number that needs to exceed the monster AP cap at 803 for Elvia Nagas. If, however, you're Awakening, you need to add the same values but replace AP with Awakening AP. Artifacts, you will always want to run AP against monsters in PvE, or Caboose if you have them. Lightstones will want to run the Wild Demi-Humans, which consists of Iridescent and 3 Raw Lightstones. I'll explain why later. Ideally, you want to be running All-Out Attack Lightstone effect, as this provides the biggest damage boost. Alternatively, you can also use Death Blow if your class is lacking crit chance modifiers on its skills. Now we have a basic understanding of how the monster AP caps work. We now need to find means to reach it or even surpass it to allow us to drop AP for more external damage types. Let's go over buffs next. First, you're going to need a food buff, which will need raw AP is going to be a simple cron meal. However, if you're surpassing the AP cap without a simple cron meal, you can swap this for an exquisite cron meal. This is where external damage comes into play. Simple cron provides 30 monster AP, whereas an exquisite cron only gives +8 all AP, but it also provides 5% crit and back attack damage, values that go over the cap. Next is droughts. If you need more monster AP, then you're going to run a corrupted frenzy drought. If not, then you use the cheaper giant drought. Then we have church buffs. Each cost 10 million silver for a 5-hour duration buff. These can be found in any major city. If you need more AP, you'll want to have the blessing attack. If DP is below 340 or you're running a frenzy drought around this DP, I also recommend the blessing protection. If you're under geared, then you can also grab the 10% crit damage buff from Carolyn and Heidel. It costs 25 energy and lasts for 30 minutes. Now let's talk about crystals. This is where the majority of your external damage will come from. Firstly, this is my usual PvE crystal setup, which prioritizes AP and some external damage, such as crit. However, like we discussed earlier, going above the AP cap is bad, unless we are sacrificing that AP for different damage types. So as you attain better gear, you'll have more AP naturally to sacrifice for more external damage, such as extra damage to demi-humans. Let's talk about the species damage. So having 1 point of extra damage to demi-humans is the same as having 0.85 of an AP point. The most important part here is this goes above the cap. This is why we run the Wild Demi-Human Lightstone effect. We also want to slot in as much Demi-Human damage into our crystal setup whilst maintaining the AP cap on the grind spot. So this is my Demi-Human crystal setup. I've sacrificed raw AP crystals to stack more Demi-Human damage, as again, this is AP that is not capped. These crystals are called Carnage and cost around 3 mil on the marketplace each on NA. Expect they'll be cheaper in EU. Last things to note before we get into the grind itself, Elvia Surrender uses his own Marnie stones. Once filled, they can be traded 1-to-1 for a shard. Assuming you're selling a cup at the max value of 5 billion silver, a shard is valued at 25 million each. These Marnie stones can be purchased in Glish from Wakitashi. On average, I fill between 4 to 5 per hour. They cost nothing, so feel free to get a bunch. You can use either a level 1 or level 2 loot scroll depending on how many scrolls you have and how often you grind. There is no wrong answer for this spot. Make sure you have a T5 pet and as many T4 pets as possible. I cannot stress how important of an investment this is for the whole Black Desert grinding. Please sure to set your pets to agile for the fastest loot speed. When you have an Elvia weapon, be sure to lock your Black Spirit Rage as this skill does not stack with the weapon buff. You can do this by hitting Alt B. If you have a red weapon buff, or Young Voltara as it's called in game, then I recommend picking this up over a yellow weapon called Young Narc, as it does more damage to Narcas. This isn't a big deal overall. You shouldn't wait for the appropriate weapon buff to spawn, simply grab what you can, but consider this priority. That about covers how to effectively grind Elvia Nagas. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have any input or improvements I could add, then always feel free to let me know in the comments below. Or come by the stream at twitch.tv/Grimkill. Again, a link to the live stream will be in the description below. With how well received the Marnie Orcs video was, and hopefully this one too, I'll most likely cover Elvia Fogans. I've been thinking about doing a video for the basics of Elvia Realm, as there's too much to cover to simply add it as part of the grind video coverage. What you should vendor, like what do you do with Sea of the Voids, or Narc's Lightning or Valtara's Flame, do Elvia Realm, all that kind of thing. Lastly, you can also join the Discord. Let me know if you found any of the videos helpful. I actually really enjoy making them. Link in the description below. Once again, be mindful of the weaves in your outrageous amount of booba. I'll show a few rotations without a weapon and some with, so you have a good understanding how the rotations work. Enjoy! Appreciate you all watching today, and I'll catch you in the next one.